NartOutHere here showing 3 pro Anubis tactics revolving around the B site from Team Liquid, OG Esports, and G2 Esports, all taken from the Blast Premier World Finals. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to Fallen for reacting to my latest video, how pros play Anubis, on his Twitch stream. It means a lot to me that one of the GOATs is watching my videos. Presente Professor. Let's get into the first tactic, shall we? Team Liquid, after defaulting and holding for a really long time, are going to execute and split B from B main and connector, 2 players outside B main and 3 connector. OC from outside B main smokes lane, and Ykinder from canal smokes tempo, and then both sides will entry in at the same time, taking the B site. They were given the site for free in this round as outsiders choose to play retake, which turns into a save after Nitro gets 2 frags. With any split tactics, they're super strong because you're pressuring from multiple angles and positions. G2 ran a similar B split tactic that Spurky covered, which I'll link below in the description. Let's take a look at the Liquid players' POVs. Ykinder's role is going to be the entry fragger from the connector side. He's going to make his way downstairs and look towards the A window to see if there's any nades coming his way, and peeks towards connector, and he does get naded but doesn't take much damage. Had there been a molly, that means an aggro CT play is coming his way, or had there been an instant stair smoke. If this happens, he has 2 options: to either go through and fight, or to wait backstairs and retake. This is a protocol you want to discuss with your teammates, and the comms and decision making have to be clear and concise. He's gonna flash A main for his teammates that came from upper, then pushes up to this left cubby, jiggle peeking connector as outsiders re-smoked it. Ykinder will make his way towards the right side where he mollies Khan, and he sets up to smoke temple. It's very important your teammates is covering you while you do this because you're out in the open. I covered some other ways to throw the same smoke from canals that are much safer in my How Pros Play Anubis video, so make sure to check that out. I'm going to link below in the description. The reason why it takes Ykinder forever to throw this smoke was because he was coordinating with his teammates B main, who were currently smoked out. Once his B main teammates were good to go, he throws the smoke, and then he's going to entry into connector and waits for outsiders molly to end, and then throws a flash high before making his way into site, where he tried to go aggressive lane and gets spammed through the smoke. Nitro is going to throw an instant connector smoke, which I covered how to do so in another video from all the spawns possible. I'm going to link it below in the description. The purpose of this smoke is to deny the CT vision from peeking canals, helping you take canals control, which makes it easier to take connector. Nitro had dropped the bomb street and went towards upper, where he's going to drop down, initially peeks A main with OC, then falls back to stairs where he's going to flash main for OC, then afterwards jiggle peeks connector in case outsiders flash and peek. Liquid play very slow here, and they count for any re-aggression and push info plays before executing. They're also waiting for outsiders to use their utility, which would make it easier to take the B site without being countered. You can really see Ykinder bringing in the outsider James calling style in this round here. Afterwards, Nitro advances up canals where he's going to hold. Nitro is covering for Ykinder as Ykinder was setting up to throw the temple smoke. Then goes back to water to see if outsiders push out A main, and flashes A to keep the CTs honest before making his way back to connector where he mollies the back platform because Nav's molly miss, and then advances out where post plant he is backside getting 2 frags, resulting in the outsider save afterwards. Elish defaults towards mid from the rune side, and he flashes before peeking bridge in case an op is holding. He gets info that no one is there and that no utility was thrown from outsiders, and he's going to hold for the bridge push from the side and will throw mid control nades after his teammates take A main. Had outsiders threw bridge utility early on, then he's going to wait to throw his nades. He misses the house smoke as it doesn't land perfect, and I'm going to show a different lineup after his POV ends. Then he will molly door. Afterwards, he's going to do these jiggle peeks to see if any CT is holding him, and then pushes up bridge where he holds for the re-aggro. The one thing you have to watch for is any flash peeks because the CTs can try to counter knowing this mid nade set, as well as any CTs will smoke out the door molly, meaning that there's a high chance that there's a CT there. Before Elijah's smoke fades, he's gonna get into this window position, which gives him cover for flashes and still allows him to hold bridge, as well as allowing him to drop down to meet up with his teammates to split B, which he's gonna do as the 3rd player going into connector, helping clear sight, then immediately picking up the flank. Now I'm gonna skip the rest of the POV and show you Kerrigan's house smoke near the sign. Kerrigan smokes mid house by getting along behind this wall. he is going to aim here while standing, left and right click, and then process his run throw bind. OC is Liquid's upper, and he has a rifle this round, and he goes towards upper, and he's going to drop down where it gets flash from Ykinder to peek the front of A main, where if a CT were holding a crack angle, and then he's going to wait as Nitro is going to throw a deeper flash to push into main to take control. Once this is done, he's going to molly fountain and falls back afterwards to pick up the bomb in street and takes it to outside B main. This tactic is still going to work out had OC had an op, but you want to adjust some players around, switching OC's position with either Ykinder, Nitro, or Naf, because you don't want OC entering into A main like this with an op. Anyways, as for the B execute, OC is going to smoke lane and throw 2 side flashes. So you see their outsiders have a defensive B main smoke up, and he's going to throw it once the smoke is starting to fade. And you will want to make this very clear and concise with your teammate that is throwing the other utility towards canals, and you want to pair it around the same time. And then afterwards, he'll entry in from B main alongside Naf. Once site is clear, OC is going to plant the bomb. Post plant, OC is going to play behind the default angle behind this big pillar in the middle of site, and he's going to trade Nitro once he makes contact. Naf defaults towards outside B solo, and he's going to hold for any pushes early on. It's very important you find a position that you can either play anti-flash or have cover if you do get flash, because this is a vital choke point that CTs can flash to peek and push out. Naf could have molly naded the B entrance as well at the start of the round had he had a nade. I'm going to fast forward here because he doesn't do anything except holds for the push. Outsiders will smoke B main, so Naf makes his way towards the other side where he attempts to molly the back platform but misses. Then when the B main smoke starts to fade and the defensive connector Molotov is gone from outsiders, he is going to entry in at the same time as his connector teammates, clearing site, re-smoking temple, and spraying the temple smoke, fragging flit. Then when site is clear, he picks up the B main flank. Naf does not need to Molotov the back platform for this execute had there been no B main smoke, because otherwise he will be exposed with the Molotov out in his hands. Before I show you the next tactic, I have to tell you about my Anubis playlist that you can see on my YouTube channel, which features a lot of pro strats. Make sure to go check that out, and I also upload pro tactics in my Discord, which can't be seen on either of my YouTube channels, so make sure to join using the link below. OG are going to run an early 4-1 B pop with 4 players grouped up outside B main, and UFrag is going to lurk towards connector from canals. They're going to nade to entry in as the explosion gives cover and bursts into site with flashes as well as on top of a temple smoke. Ykinder falls back site, and Team Liquid loses the B site and chooses a save in a 4v5. Pop tactics are great because of the surprise element, since you're not giving it away by throwing a bunch of utility. Let's take a look at the players' POVs. Flames is the entry fragger, and I'm going to fast forward to where he is going to be outside of B main. So he's going to throw a nade off this wall before entering in order to give him cover as the nade explosion smoke will do so. His route is swinging to the right and going to clear backside, which he finds a frag the Ykinder and makes his way into the back of B. My only suggestion for Flames is to drop some of his utility except the nade, because as the entry fragger for this B pop, there's a high chance he dies, which he could have lost his utility that wouldn't be recoverable. Now he could drop his smoke and spawn for his teammate to smoke connector if they wanted to, or give it to Fiku in this round who had no money. Now Team Liquid are going to save in this 4v5, so let's go into this next POV. Dexter is OG's opper, however he's going to have a rifle for this tactic. He's going to be the second player in behind Flames. His role is to follow Flames, which the entry route is to the right, trailing out Flames if need be. He shouldn't have the bomb as the second player in, which should belong to Fiku, the third player. Anyways, he clears site with Flames, then plants. After plant, him and Flames both accidentally resmoke temple. Now this tactic could have worked out with an op as well. You would have Dexter take Fiku's position as the third player peeking from the back platform outside B main, but post up onto site and temple for rotations if you don't want to smoke temple off. Or you could have Dexter take Nexus position and throw the set utility, and then afterwards he stays back on the back platform outside B main, covering his teammates and watching the flank. Fiku will be the third player into site, and he's going to set up to throw this site flash, and then afterwards he's going to entry into site. He should be the one who has the bomb. If he had a smoke, then he could throw one on the fly towards lane afterwards, clearing site, or he could smoke out any defensive mollies thrown at them towards that doorway for B main, if Liquid were to do so when his two teammates entry in. Nexa is going to start the round off by going towards ruins, where he tries to molly a house but misses, and the Molotov goes towards the door. Afterwards, he rushes back to the platform outside B main, where for the execute he is going to smoke temple and then throw 2 entry flashes, and then afterwards helps clear sight. Once it's clear, he picks up the B main flank. Neofrag will be the solo player going connector, and he's going to nade hell as he makes his way down the stairs and then hides behind the canal wall, seeing if there's any aggro play from Team Liquid. Then afterwards he pushes up canals, where he's going to pinch from Khan. OG did smoke off connector in round 5, with Flames doing so when they ran the same tactic, in which Neofrag can get inside the smoke and go through it if he wanted to when his teammates take the CT's attention from B main. He will help clear sight if need be, otherwise he's going to pick up the connector canal's flank. I spoke earlier that Smirky broke down G2's B split. Well, they also have a tactic where they fake B with Hooksy and Hunter outside B main, throwing utilities such as a lane and temple smoke alongside sight flashes in order to try to pull rotations. And while this was happening, G2 had 3 players A main walking in and advancing, where m0NESY picks off Magic's Fountain, and then from here G2 do have a hard time making their way onto A site. So it's going to come down to Hunter and Hooksy, the B players, who both lurked their way into A, picking up the round win. The B execute fake worked in pulling the mid player from Vitality and even causing Magus to peek from Fountain. Let's go ahead and take a look at the players' POVs. Hooksy is going to start the round towards B, where he mollies B main and holds for any pushes. He doesn't do anything else, so I'm going to fast forward here to where he lines up to smoke temple and flash his sight twice. For the lineup, he is going to position as shown, ducking here. Then once he gets the position, he's going to stand up for the smoke, aims here, then left click throw. Afterwards, he follows up with 2 flashes, aiming here, and then left click throw. This is the same lineup that m0NESY uses as well. And then afterwards, he gets smoked out B main and tries to find any picks by jumping to see over the smoke, but won't find anyone. So you'll see that when the action took place over towards A main, he's going to lurk into B, eventually flanks through CT. Now if B main wasn't smoked off, I don't think Hooksy fully commits into the site and just peeks it from the outside. Here he is working with Hunter to get this 2v1 round win. Hunter is the other B player in this tactic that's throwing the fake, but first off he's going to smoke off connector and then picks up the drop smoke from Nico and then goes towards ruins, where he is going to watch for any mid aggro and then mollies door. Afterwards, he falls back to the platform outside B, where Hunter is going to smoke lane and flash his sight. Then immediately right after throwing this utility, he's going to go back to stairs to meet up with his teammates main and frag Spinks connector in the meantime while he does so. Hunter definitely had the opportunity to lurk bridge to mid as well if he wanted to. It comes down to a 2v1 with him and Hooksy versus ZywOo, where he waits for Hooksy and then he gets traded out by Hooksy. JKS is the A entry, that's his role for this tactic here, and he starts a round by going towards upper and drops down to where he waits outside A main. G2 are not going to take A main control at all, and they keep it quiet to sell the B execute. When the nades start being thrown over at B, him and m0NESY walk into A main, where m0NESY gets the opening fountain onto Magus, and they try to explode after. However, that doesn't work out because Vitality counter with utility slowing them down, as well as m0NESY throws this lurk smoke that G2 didn't want to go through at first and forces their way towards Fountain, getting shut down by ZywOo. And JKS eventually works around the smoke, gets into sight and waits for his teammates, where he gets 1 frag before being traded out. m0NESY the Opera has the bomb, and he's going to go downstairs and poses up on A main, having already scoped in, so he's able to walk into A main without having to make a noise doing so. So he is going to wait here until the nades get thrown over at B. Then he goes in with JKS and he's going to hold Fountain here, looking for the pick, which Magus peeks and gives that up. After getting that peek, he tries to push up and mollies Heaven, gets flashed, and then throws a lurk smoke to try to get to Fountain, which he does. However, he's going to get killed by ZywOo. Nico is the third player that's going to be going towards A. He drops his smoke at the start of the round for Hunter, and then he's going to go downstairs where he holds connector and window, then meets up with his teammates towards A here, where he flashes sight and goes Fountain, but he gets shut down by ZywOo. After Nico's PV, I'm going to show a bonus clip of an anti-eco play that Hooksy likes to do, which involves him mauling and nading the B main entrance and peeking behind it, with Monacy going with him. He did this move twice on both anti-ecos against Vitality, where peeking these nades or behind them give them a favorable advantage, and he's able to scout the information on towards B to see if it's a stack or not, or to see what kind of setup Vitality are in. If you enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel as you don't want to miss out on future Anubis Pro Strat videos. Till next time, NartOutHere, peace.